We knew that Jimmy was hosting the Golden Globes, and he knew that he wanted to do some kind of big, pre-tape piece to kind of kickstart the show. We knew that we wanted something that was big and kind of just like celebrated, all the movies and TV shows of that year. It wasn't until, the show was the beginning of January, and it wasn't until kind of the beginning of December where we were really getting down to like, okay, we need to figure out this idea now. Luckily, around that time, La La Land had just come out. It actually wasn't even out yet. It was like, all right, let's see if we can get an advanced screening of that. And we watched this advanced screening, and like from the beginning, the first 5 minutes, that opening scene, on the freeway with people dancing on the cars, it was just like, I think this is it. We then, we thought we'd have so much lead time for pre-pro, and all of a sudden we have like 2, maybe 3-ish weeks by the time we had the script approved to when we actually had to shoot it. It was a big thing for me to do that as much in one shot as possible, the whole red carpet Steadicam shot. And, we did our best, but like, of course it had to get split up into, I think like 5 or 6 different shots with just hidden cuts in the whip pans. And of course the weather was all over the place. It'd be cloudy and rainy, and then like complete blue sky sun the next day. I'm really big on previs videos, just like really lo-fi previs. Like almost every project I do some version of a previs just to kind of help me kind of get, wrap my head around it. At my wife's parents' house, they have a bunch of Matchbox cars, so I just took my iPhone and laid out a bunch of Matchbox cars with like little, gargoyle toys and G.I. Joes and stuff like that. And then there were, a few other iterations of that previs. So even after the iPhone one, once we got on set and we were kind of starting to build the set and get the red carpet out, and we like had a few cars sort of parked around, then we shot more versions with the dancers, and so it was kind of like that whole week, working with Mandy, the choreographer, and Ari, Steadicam operator, and just all of our other dancers and all other members of the crew. Just like every day we would kind of update the previs with like, hey, we have the cars are on the red carpet now, let's shoot another previs. I think that was a pretty key part of it, so it wasn't just like starting from scratch from the beginning. Like the edit was happening simultaneously during the shoot, so we had to just be constantly building the edit as we went. Probably the thing I'm most proud of is just like sticking to my guns on like the original concept, because it was just extremely ambitious, and it was kind of like naively, stupidly ambitious, because it was just, it was written so big and kind of so impossibly that I'm kind of shocked that we were able to kind of pull it off. So kind of the most recent project that I've been working on during this quarantine has been this Geico campaign. Totally unique because it's completely done in quarantine. It kind of came about, I sort of met the creative team behind all the great Geico work over the last many years, the Martin Agency. So we kind of talked about it, and we're like, I think there's a way to kind of do this project in quarantine, but kind of as legit as like a real shoot. And so, everybody had to shoot in their own homes. Like it's half celebrities and half cast actors. We needed to cast actors that are not only great and perfect for the role, but they have, we're getting their location as well, because we have to shoot in their homes, and we're getting a crew from them as well, like whoever they're quarantining with, if it's like a husband or boyfriend or girlfriend or roommate or whatever, that becomes the crew. They're the hands on set. So it's just like it was such a added complication of the casting process, and I think we really lucked out with our actors who are great and had people they're quarantining with, and we're trying to match this kind of house in LA and like obviously a very beautiful mansion in Miami. And so it was just a matter of getting on Zooms, a bunch of different Zooms, and like looking at the bathroom. This is like a guy brushing his teeth in the bathroom, so just all this crazy stuff that a 30-40 person crew would normally just do themselves, all just being like shouted through Zoom. Luckily, everybody's been really cool about understanding that process, and I hope we don't have to do this long, but it's really gonna make me appreciate being on a real set again, with being able to look at people eye to eye. Yes, so the Master Pass spots with Kobe Smulders with Corner Store really fun process, and I did 2 rounds of these spots for MasterPass with Corner Store. I really like Kobe a lot. She's kind of like exactly the type of, actor that I love working with. She's super cool, super down to earth, and really, really funny, and completely open to like any kind of improv or like throwing out a weird idea. They were obviously like scripted, but there was a lot of room within the creative to just kind of let her personality come out. And so it was just super fun right from the beginning of the day. We just really hit it off and kind of understood each other's senses of humor. And so it just became really easy to just like, hey, try this line, or hey, do it this way, or do this weird dance. It was a really, really efficient crew. It was my first time working with this guy Mike Berlucci, the DP, who's a really good friend of mine now, and that was our first project together. And he really impressed me by just like how quick we were able to move while not losing any quality at all. Yeah, the crew was unbelievable, and how we were able to kind of stay, on schedule and get everything. But then once we had each shot set, I wanted to kind of make sure there was some time to just let her go, because all of the best material just came from Kobe just being herself and kind of throwing in her own lines and kind of whatever she wanted to do. And I think the biggest reflection, because I did kind of two campaigns, with the same group and with Kobe, I just hope that there's more, because it was such a joy to work with. Like the agency and like everybody at Corner Store was just super cool. And the second round I was able to shoot up in Toronto, so I was able to kind of hang out at the office. Yeah, just really love the process of working with that group and with Kobe, and I hope to have the chance again.